Alrighty, we should be live here. Just give me one moment as I am testing if everything's okay. I'm gonna be sending out the link on my socials here. Okay. So let me test how much my delay is here on our stream, because it may be a little bit delayed. And I said it's a 3-second delay, so it's not immediate. So let me test how much my delay is. Okay, that's a little too much. And then boom. I don't need delay, never mind. Okay. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Roger Mills and northeastern Beckham counties. So there's going to be a severe thunderstorm right next to, kind of between Sweetwater and Cheyenne. We have a couple of storms to talk about right now. We're obviously in the early stages of this event. Not anything really crazy is going on yet. But, yeah. So, there are in Elk City, Carpenter, Grimes, Dempsey, Berlin, or Roseville. Get indoors and away from windows, because these storms are packing ping pong ball size hail and 60 miles an ping pong ball size hail and 60 miles an hour winds. Now we also have another storm here, and it's severe, coming right up on the Elk City area. I believe this is also. Okay, so they did end up upgrading this to a considerable damage threat. So we now have 70 miles an hour wind gusts in this storm. I believe it's this one. Actually, let me check. I believe it's either this storm or this storm. But either way, if you're anyone's polygon and you chances are have not gotten impacted by this yet, you are probably going to be hit by one of these with some strong winds and possibly even some hail. So we're going to send out the live stream here. Now our stream is 60 miles an hour windows. So you are probably going to be hit by one of these with some strong. I apologize for some of the delay, even if I don't have the delay on, because it's still going to be delayed kind of either way. But okay, new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see if that actually did work. Where's the pop-up warning? Did I lop it out? Strange. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning. Alright, so, a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Worcestershire and Beckham counties. So this includes Burns, Flat, and Dale City. It's going to be for this storm, and I'm starting to believe they're issuing separate warning polygons because they're a little too far away from each other. They can't really classify it that they're along the line, but I'm going to be looking at these storms over here a little bit while they're still in Texas. I'm still going to be looking at them just a little bit because these storms are moving northeast, so they're going to be moving towards Frederick. And these storms do look kind of impressive here. We do have a special weather statement for in portions of our area. Jackson County. It looks like we do have a little strong area of storm. Adam Lucio is down there, but we cannot show its feed due to copyright reasons. We will be asking Storm Chasers to use their feeds at some point, just we have not yet. So we cannot really show Storm Chasers feeds at the very moment. We will probably get there eventually. Okay. So that's strong. That probably where you are going to get hail is where this big area of hail core is, and I believe this is moving northeast or southeast, or just okay, it's moving southeast. So if you're in Dale City, this storm in Elk City is probably going to hit you and do some stuff. So I'm gonna open our cameras here. OK cameras or whatever. OK traffic. And then we can. So we can see the storm a little bit. Just waiting for it to load up. One moment, guys. Yeah, we're experiencing some difficulties loading this up. Okay, now it's starting to load the map. They're Oh, we don't have any cameras. Never mind. Okay. So, considerable damage with this storm, or not considerable damage, sorry.
I mean, if I laugh like that.
But these storms have went from moving kind of eastward to more southeastward. So now, while the storms were going to originally miss the Burns Flat and Dell City area, these storms are now moving kind of towards the Burns Flat and Dell City area. Alright, so this storm that was in Jackson County, okay, we'll talk about that in just a moment, but we now have considerable damage, from the storm over here. As it moved, it's going to stay in the southern portions of Elk City, and the hail might get kind of into central Elk City, but this golf ball size hail we have now should stay in the southern portions or maybe slightly in downtown. I heard a ding. I don't know where it is. Never mind, I don't know. So we can actually look at our tracks here on this and what times places may be hit.
Okay.
So, Birds Flat probably around 6:20 p.m. and Dill City as well around 6:28 p.m. But this also includes the CSM Clinton Sherman International Airport around 6:17 p.m. Trying to find if there's any more towns in here that I can zoom in on. But yeah. So those are some of the timings, but we have got confirmation that there's been golf ball size hail in this storm near Elk City. Yep. At 5:30 p.m. In Elk City, or west-southwest of Elk City, emergency manager reports ping pong ball size. But there might be another report before that I didn't see of it. I'm reading what the National Weather Service in Norman, is saying here on their IEM bot feed. Okay, an MP report shows 1.5 inch hail once again. In Elk City. So that's ping pong ball size. So that's two reports, and it's 2 inches in diameter. So emergency management reported 2-inch hail. Well, it's not 2-inch hail referred anymore, but radar indicated 2-inch hail moving right over Highway 40, going east-southeast towards Burns Flat. So Burns Flat's going to be hit around 6:20 p.m. I believe. Yeah, 6:20. So we still got a good little bit under an hour here before these storms get to you. Now, I don't think these storms are just going to kind of weaken off. They probably won't. But I haven't talked about this that much. We do have a severe thunderstorm actually behind it in Roger Mills and Beckham counties. So this is going to be, I don't think we really have many areas. This is going to be coming up on Carpenter in the Elk City Regional Business, I don't know what that says, but the Elk City Regional Business Airport. So these storms, honestly, I think Elk City could be hit by storms 2 times. This second storm that's forming, that's severe, behind the one that's probably hitting you right now. It should slightly miss you, but you could see get something a heavy rain or something from it. Now, with one of our first scans of this, we had a tornadic vortex signature. Now, thankfully, it's dissipated, but we had a tornadic vortex signature, and we don't really like those because sometimes those are what drop tornado warnings, and we do not want tornado warnings today. Speaking of risks, let's talk about our risks of severe weather today. So today we have a slight risk of severe weather, going from Stillwater to Altus, from Woodward all the way down into Ardmore. We actually did have a 5%, but they did drop it, so now we just have a 2% tornado risk today. It includes Woodward, Alva, Fairview, Enid, Stillwater, Oklahoma City, Norman, Chickasha, Lawton, and Altus. We do have a pretty decent wind risk, 15% wind risk, that basically includes the central/western Oklahoma area. And then our hail risk is the main story today. And it's proved it. We literally have a storm of 2-inch hail right now. But particularly from about Alva down to Altus, and from Lawton, and from Oklahoma City over to like the Oklahoma, Texas, the Oklahoma Panhandle and Texas Panhandle line. That's probably where we're going to see most of the hail today. But I do think we will see severe weather chances today. I don't think today's going to be a huge tornado day, though. We're going to have a lot of hailstorms, like we did yesterday. And I prefer we had a hailstorm than a tornado. And I don't know about you, but I prefer that we had a hailstorm instead of having a tornado. So, Birds Flat Birds Flat will be hit in about 6:18. This is moving at 25 miles an hour according to our storm track. Let's check the latest polygon just to prove that. Yeah, so the storm is now moving at 25 miles an hour, so not incredibly fast. Still some speeds that you need to kind of watch out for. But this is going to kind of hit the Clinton Sherman International Building, or air parks, sorry. So if you're over there, indoors and away from windows. I do not like what these storms are doing over here in Texas, because these are kind of moving east, southeast / northeast, as these move into Oklahoma, and they're probably going to be some of the biggest storms of the day. Could see some strong winds and hail with them, maybe even a tornado warning or two. I'm not saying that tornadoes are not going to happen. There very well could be tornadoes, but just they're a little less likely. Actually, George. So here is where most of our reports are coming. And we're getting more reports now. I think this is our latest one here. 9 minutes ago. 11 minutes ago. Yeah, so our latest one is, did we just get a new city? Okay, so that continued. You could see. Okay, so the main area of concern is going to be probably western and the west central Oklahoma area. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna test something real quick. This is a false alarm. It ain't real. but I accidentally just did something, so let me, that's good, purple, there's that, the old-fashioned tornado warning, there we go, okay, just checking, I flash flood warning, there we go. Okay, just checking because I accidentally messed with something and I don't know if I accidentally messed something up. So if you guys could ask questions, feel free to. But right now we are seeing really not any crazy action. And we do have too much hail going on, obviously, just to the south and maybe even in Elk City. But that's really all that's happening. Behind it, we do have some golf ball size hail near Cheney, and more storms are beginning to form even behind that near Raiden, Wheeler, and Shamrock. Now some of those are in Texas. So those still got some way to go before they get to our state here. But still, we'll go into the models a little bit here. Yeah, we got time. Yeah, we. So what the HRR is thinking here? Let me just fix this here. It shows that around 6 p.m. we're gonna have storms from the Colorado and Kansas area start moving southeast. It's gonna be a squall line. But then it kind of connects itself a lot more as this now leaves out of the Panhandle. I think this could be kind of a damaging wind threat for Woodward, Alva, and Fairview. But then we go to 8 p.m. This is when the storm's really starting to leave the Panhandle and get closer to Woodward. This is 18.4 dB. Literally our next scan after that. So I'd say probably somewhere between. Wait, is this the right model? Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to look at something at the moment here. So somewhere between 9 and 8 p.m. is when Woodward's going to get hit the hardest. But also we got to be worried about Cherokee, Straight Line Wind, and everything. Winds are probably going to be coming to there. And Arnett's going to be getting hit around exactly 9 p.m. probably. Then we go to 10 p.m. and the squall line still keeps going southeast. This is when it starts hitting the Enid area, the Fairview area, the Taloga area, going all the way out to Tawanda. But then it keeps going, kind of. You can see a whole bunch of rain around that. It's still going to be raining in Woodward at 11 p.m. But then this is when the storm starts getting a little bit closer to the OKC area, where this is when El Reno, Weatherford, Butler, Watonga, Gold3, and Perry will get hit. So then, 12 a.m. is when starts probably 11:30 p.m. or 12 a.m. somewhere around 12 a.m. is when Oklahoma City is going to be getting hit. And still, even after they get hit, they're still going to be having a long area of heavy rain for quite a long time. But then this squalling keeps going. This is what it's going to be hitting: Sulphur, Colgate, Okma, eventually Holdenville, Okmulgee. But it kind of shifts from southeast to just east. And we'll have a big squall line moving right towards McAllister, in Atoka, Caddo, Durant, Boswell, Antlers, Hugo, around 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. And we're going to have quite a big hail threat with this squall. And now it's going to start producing more hail. In front of this, too, there's Stigler in Fort Smith. But then somewhere between 3 and 4 a.m. this speeds up quite a lot and gets out and hits Stigler. And 4 a.m. we're going to still have a lot of big area of hail down near Idabel. And Fort Smith is going to be getting hit around 4 a.m. And then within 6 a.m. they should be mainly out of our area. But at 6 a.m. tomorrow, we're still going to have storms in the Oklahoma City area. Not sure what these are associated with, but they are there. Oh. I believe I just accidentally exited. Alright, so, sorry, I was kind of distracted with, the radar, but we do have, according to weatherwise, we do have a tornadic. Hold on. Let's actually click on this. We do have a tornadic, a vortex signature, where this. So this is heading south. So this is moving east. It's going to southeast as well. At 26 miles an hour with some little signs of rotation. I don't think we have a huge concern for rotation, because sometimes the whole thing of the tornadic vortex signature can be wrong. But still, I would watch this certainly. Let's actually go to our velocity tracker here. And yeah, the rotation's either going to be right here or down here. And I'm just trying to lean a little bit more towards right here. But I want to talk about tomorrow's risk of severe weather, and it's going to be more in southern Oklahoma real quick. Just wanted to point that out. But then even behind that, there's some areas of rotation. They don't have any rotation signatures or rotating storm or anything. So we're not going to be hugely concerned about rotation on that storm. But either way, if you don't get a tornado, you're obviously still going to get too much hail, because this storm has not stopped producing too much hail. And 60 miles an hour winds also indeed in this storm as well. So right now we just have so they've returned this back to observe. So we have 2-inch hail, or golf ball size hail, actually observed with this, but they have not changed it back down to golf ball size. So we might still have 2 inches here in the storm as this moves southeast towards New Corndale. Yeah, outside of the storm, New Corndale is also on the path. They actually issued a new track on this, so let's get to it. So burn spot still around 6:18 p.m. Dill City around 6:25 p.m. and New Corndale around 6:42 p.m. New Corndale is not in that warning. The Clinton Sherman International Airport, still around 6:14 p.m. Braith, Hawaii, around 6:20 p.m. Then we have Dill City, gonna be clipped by this probably around 6:26 p.m. This is an estimate, so it may not be correct. So that's gonna give you an idea of when the storm's gonna get to those areas. Alright, so coming up on the 6 p.m. hour, I think we're gonna end off this part, but we will come back when there is a tornado or a severe thunderstorm warning in